Hey, what's up guys? We're here today. We're going to show you the EPS chip installation to your PS4 controller. Now you're going to need a screwdriver. You're going to need your handy little EPS chip, which you see here. It's very light, but it's very useful, of course. And then of course you're going to need your PS4 controller. How else are you going to put your chip into your controller if you don't actually have your controller, right? So as you'll see here on the back, there's 4 screws that you have to actually take out in order to get access into the main board. So get your screwdriver and go ahead and take these out. Now that all the screws are out, we're going to go ahead and pull the shell apart from the bottom here. Just pull it apart slightly. Just make sure not to pull it too hard because there's still a ribbon attached to it, as you can see there. Now in order to completely get in there, we actually have to detach the ribbon. Watch out for the battery, of course, it's a little loose. And this ribbon is actually what's holding us back. So let's go ahead and pull that apart right at the base. So lie this flat and then just pull the ribbon out like so. Set that aside, and now we're good to work on the inside. As you can see here, the battery is sitting right in the cradle and it's attached right here on the side. So just go ahead and reach your fingers right here and pull it out like so. It's a little rough, but you'll be able to get it. Just takes a couple tries. Take it out. There we go. So let's go ahead and set the battery aside now that that's free. And now we got to pull out the battery cradle, which is the little black portion right here on the controller. So this just snaps off a little bit, just pulling it. Okay, well we got it. That's all that matters. Let's set that at the side. As you can see here, there's one more screw into the board that we actually have to take off before we have access to put the EPS chip. So go ahead and grab your screwdriver one more time, and let's take this screw out. So now that we got this last screw out, you'll see that your main board is actually pretty loose. You just have to be a little bit careful. Make sure that it doesn't drop down because there's still one more ribbon right up here at the top. Now you'll see that you're limited from pulling the board out because of the ribbon. So in order to actually get access to the bottom portion, we actually have to move this ribbon out. In order to do so, you just have to move the latch, flick it down, and now you can actually pull out the cord like so. Now you notice that it's still slightly attached to the controller, but that's okay because we don't have to remove the whole thing. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And then we're going to go ahead and put this back. And this is what you're dealing with. This is what it should look like. Let's go ahead and grab our EPS chip now. And you'll notice that it has a slight adhesive, so you can actually stick this to the main board. Just press it into place. And make sure that the bottom portion, which is cut out, is actually lined up to the hole in the main board. If it looks like this, then you're doing pretty good. So let's go ahead and firmly attach this. And this little leg on the back, it actually folds over. Stick it to the board, and then it's got 2 little holes that attach to the 2 latches on either side. So now that it's sticky, just set it slightly back into place and get a firm hold onto the EPS chip so it doesn't wiggle around too much. And now that it looks like this, it looks amazing. You can go ahead and start putting the controller back together. Now, in order to get this white and gold controller back together, to make sure that this chip is back together, and we'll put the controller back. So just press firmly on the EPS chip, put down the latch for the ribbon, and we'll put the ribbon back in where it was originally. Just tuck it in, and then flip the latch back, and make sure the EPS chip is not going to move. So let's go ahead and get that screw that we took out, and put it right back in the center so we don't have our main board flopping around and ruining our gameplay. So now that it's firmly in there, it's not wiggling around. Let's go ahead and get the battery cradle. And this attaches back inside, wrong way, but it still goes in the center no matter what. Just got to get a firm click. This might take a couple tries. Just try to remember where it was originally. If you have to take it out, no worries. I'm going to go ahead and take it out here and put it back in. You get a nice solid click. There you go, it's firm. It's not going to move. And now it's ready to accept the battery again. So let's plug the battery back into the socket. Just like so, and then we'll just rest it back in to where it originally belonged. So now that the battery's in place, let's go ahead and get the controller. We have to plug in that ribbon we originally took out. Now the easiest way to do this is actually set the controller down and pick up the half while holding the battery, and then plugging it right back in. It'll slide in, no issues whatsoever, shouldn't apply too much force to it. And now we can reconnect the shell. Just be mindful of the triggers. Just make sure they fit into their allotted holes. Slide that back. So now we can click the controller together. Now you'll know this is put back together properly when you get a nice solid click and there's no more gaps in between any of the controllers. And it looks just as new, all the triggers work, the buttons, and it's good to go. Except these screws, of course. So let's go ahead and put the screws back in. And we'll fast forward one more time because you don't need to wait for us to put this back together. You're ready to play, right? So let's put the screws back in. And as soon as all these are done, you're ready to play. So turn on your game, turn on your controller, input your mode of choice, and you're good to go. Have some fun. Now, if you'd like to get any more information on the EPS chip, please feel free to check out the official website, epschip.com. Now, I'll give you a link to that below in case you didn't get that. And then, of course, don't forget to check out our social media pages. I will give you links to that below as well. And then leave us any questions you might have, maybe any comments or concerns, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Enjoy.